February 2023, 5:47 a.m. The alarm hasn't gone off yet, but your phone already has. The screen lights up the dark ceiling of your bedroom in a quiet suburb of Columbus, Ohio. Your boss's name glows on the display. He doesn't care that it's Saturday. He doesn't care that you fell asleep at 2 a.m. with your laptop still open on the nightstand. He's speaking fast, clipped, already mid-sentence when you press the phone to your ear. Something about a rounding error buried in the Q4 earnings deck that goes to the board in 4 hours. You don't argue. You never argue. You're already pulling a wrinkled dress shirt off the floor with your free hand. You are 35 years old. You drive a leased BMW 5 Series you never have time to wash. You live in a house with 4 bedrooms and use exactly one of them to sleep. Your net worth looks excellent on paper. Your body looks like something that was assembled in a hurry and never serviced. You squeeze the steering wheel and push north on the empty interstate. And somewhere between the second and third exit, you stop asking yourself how you got here. You already know. You've always known. You just never stopped long enough to say it out loud. So let's go back. All the way back to where the wiring got crossed. 1997, Flint, Michigan. You are 9 years old. Your father left when you were 6. Not dramatically. No shouting, no broken dishes. He just stopped coming home one Tuesday, and that was the end of it. Your mother works 2 jobs. Days at a call center downtown. 3 evenings a week, she cleans offices in the medical complex off Court Street. She drives a 91 Cavalier with a cracked dashboard and a check engine light that's been on so long it's basically a feature. The apartment smells like instant noodles and dryer sheets. There's a library card laminated to the inside of your bedroom door like a diploma. Your mother put it there. She doesn't buy you things. She can't. But there is one moment, one specific moment. You have replayed in your memory more times than you could count. You bring home a math test, 98 out of 100. You set it on the kitchen table without saying anything, and she stops washing dishes and dries her hands and sits down across from you and smiles. A real smile. The kind that reaches her eyes. The kind that makes her look like a different person. The person she must have been before everything got so hard. Your 9-year-old brain catalogs that smile like a survival skill. A and you are safe. Less than an A and the smile doesn't come. You never consciously decide to become a machine. It just happens the way water finds its level. You stop playing outside as much. You stop asking for things. You become the easiest possible child to raise. Invisible, efficient, producing results on demand. By the time you hit middle school, you have learned a fact that will quietly destroy the next 20 years of your life. Love is not given freely. Love is earned. Love is a performance review. School is your first office. Your grades are your first paycheck. May 2009, Ohio State, you are 21. You are graduating magna cum laude with a finance degree and $43,000 in federal student loans. You spent 4 years doing everything right. Dean's List every semester. 2 internships, the kind of resume that a career counselor holds up as an example. You ironed your interview shirt twice the night before. You practiced your handshake in the bathroom mirror. The woman across the conference table at the investment firm on 5th Avenue is in her mid-40s. She has the particular stillness of someone who has delivered bad news so many times it no longer registers as bad news. She flips through your resume for about 10 seconds. Actually, 10 seconds. You counted. And sets it down. She says your GPA is impressive. She says your internships were in the wrong subsector. She says you lack real exposure to high-stakes environments. She says the position they can offer you is an analyst role. Base, salary, $54,000. The hours are demanding. There is no overtime. The work is whatever needs doing. You had imagined this moment differently. You had imagined something clicking into place. Instead, you feel something colder. The specific humiliation of realizing the contract you thought you'd signed, work hard, get rewarded, was never real. Nobody signed it. You signed it alone in a fluorescent lit library at 2 a.m. and the other party wasn't there. But your old wiring kicks in before your dignity can. The little boy from Flint who turned 98 into his mother's smile hears this woman saying, "You are not yet good enough," and he decides, in the space of about 4 seconds, that he will prove her wrong. The same way he proved his mother right. The same way he always has. You take the pen, you sign. The years between 2009 and 2014 are a blur of right angles. You arrive first, you leave last, you eat standing up over your keyboard. You learn to function on 5 hours of sleep and then 4, and then you stop counting. You take on your colleagues' overflow without being asked because saying no feels like admitting weakness, and weakness is the one thing you have never once allowed yourself to show. They notice. Management notices, but not to give you more money or a better title. They notice the way a farmer notices a draft horse. They give you more to carry. By 2014, you are a senior analyst and your salary has crept north of $90,000. On paper, this looks like success. What it actually looks like is a man who has not been to a doctor in 3 years, eating cold Thai food at a standing desk at 10 p.m. while his college friends are putting down payments on houses and coaching Little League. You convince yourself the sacrifice is temporary. This is what everyone at your level tells themselves. You're building something. You're playing a long game. The payout is coming. 2018. You're 30. Vice President of Strategic Finance. Base salary $220,000. Annual bonus that, in a good year, nearly matches it. You lease the BMW. You rent a luxury apartment in a glass tower near the office and spend perhaps 8 waking hours per week inside it. You buy a Patagonia vest because everyone at your level wears a Patagonia vest and it signals the right things to the right people. You learn to say bandwidth and runway and move the needle without any trace of irony. You have not been on a date that lasted more than 2 hours in 18 months because something always comes up. You have not called your mother back in 11 days. You told yourself you would do it this weekend, and then the weekend evaporated, and now it's Tuesday again. Your body starts sending signals you choose not to receive. There's a tightness in your chest some mornings that you attribute to too much coffee. Your resting heart rate, when you accidentally check it on a borrowed Fitbit at a company wellness fair, is 91. The nurse raises her eyebrows slightly and says something about monitoring it. You nod and walk directly back to your desk. The company is under pressure. Everyone is under pressure. The market is doing things nobody predicted, and the board wants answers, and the answers don't exist yet, so someone has to manufacture something that looks enough like answers to buy another quarter. That someone is you. It has always been you. November 2022. You are stuck on the 315 in a dead stop. Rain on the windshield. The kind of rain that isn't dramatic, just relentless. You've been on the phone for 90 minutes, one call bleeding directly into the next, and you realize somewhere around exit 108B that you cannot remember if you ate today. Your heart does something wrong. It doesn't beat fast. It stutters, a long, lurching pause, and then it hammers, hard and irregular, like a fist hitting a door. Your left hand goes cold. There is a pressure behind your sternum that you will later describe to a cardiologist as feeling like someone placed a textbook on your chest and then sat on it. You pull to the shoulder, you sit there for 6 minutes watching the pressure drop. Then you get back on the highway. You have a call at 9 p.m. You tell yourself it was anxiety. You tell yourself you'll get it checked after the Riverside merger closes. You have been telling yourself this specific lie, after the next thing, for so long that it no longer sounds like a lie, it sounds like a plan. February 2023, Thursday morning. 3 months after that night on the 315, you are at your desk before 7 a.m. for the most important call of your career. The Riverside deal. 14 months of 70-hour weeks compressed into a 40-slide deck. Your hands are steady. Your voice is ready. You are running on 3 hours of sleep, 2 Excedrin, and something close to pure will. You reach for your keyboard. And then your body, the body you have been spending 15 years slowly destroying, makes a unilateral decision. Sound goes first. The voices on the call become distant and warped, like someone turned the room underwater. Your left arm drops to the desk with a weight that doesn't feel like yours. You try to speak. What comes out is not words. The pain in your chest arrives like a verdict. You slide out of your chair and onto the floor of your office, and you lie there on the industrial carpet staring up at the fluorescent panel lights, and through the laptop speakers you can hear your CFO saying, calmly, "Can we get IT on the line? I think David is having technical difficulties." He does not stop the call, not for a moment. The cleaning staff finds you 40 minutes later. Intensive care. Day 3. The cardiologist is a small, direct man with circles under his eyes and no interest in softening his language. He tells you that you had an ischemic stroke. He tells you that your coronary arteries have the profile of a man in his mid-60s. He tells you that if the custodian had come to your floor 30 minutes later, you would have died on that carpet. He uses the word died clearly and without pause. You spend 3 weeks in the hospital. Your phone, for the first time in a decade, is almost completely silent. The company sends a fruit basket on day 2. Your direct reports send a group text on day 4. On day 9, HR calls. They need your system credentials and the access codes for the shared drives. The Riverside project has been reassigned. That is the full extent of it. You lie in that bed and you add it up. 15 years. You gave them 15 years of your life, your health, your relationships, your sleep, your weekends, your mother's phone calls, your 30s. And the total of what they gave back in the end is a fruit basket and a credential request. The old wiring doesn't just blow a fuse, it burns entirely to the ground. For the first time since you were 9 years old, sitting at a kitchen table with a math test, you feel something unexpected. Not grief, not rage, something quieter. Relief. April 2023. You walk out of the hospital on a Tuesday morning. Thinner, slower, a cane for the first few weeks while your left side catches up. You go to the office one final time. You take the elevator to the 14th floor. You set a single sheet of paper on your director's desk. Your resignation. Effective immediately. No 2 weeks, no transition period, no negotiation. He threatens. He pivots to flattery. He mentions your reputation in the industry. You turn around and walk out and you do not say a single word. You sell the BMW. You end the lease on the glass tower apartment. You move somewhere smaller, quieter, a house with a real backyard in a neighborhood where people walk their dogs in the morning and you can hear it. You take 4 months off. You see your mother. You sit on her couch and watch a movie you've never heard of and eat a meal she made, and when she asks how you're doing, you tell her the truth and she cries a little, and so do you, and neither of you apologizes for it. Then you start something small, a consulting firm. 3 people, modest clients, a strict policy that has never once been broken. At 6 p.m., the laptops close. The Slack notifications are off until morning. There is no such thing as a true emergency that cannot wait 8 hours for a rested brain to address it. When clients push, you tell them no. You say it the way you say good morning, easily, without ceremony. July 2024, early Saturday, somewhere in rural Ohio. Fog sitting low over a lake you found on a map 3 months ago. You are in a camp chair on a dock with a fishing rod you bought secondhand and don't entirely know how to use. Your phone is in the glove compartment of your car in the parking lot, 100 yards away. Has been since yesterday. Your heart rate is 62. You had it checked last week. Your doctor, who you now see twice a year, voluntarily, said it like a compliment. You are not a titan. You are not a machine. You are not an asset, a resource, a high performer, a key stakeholder, or a value add. You are a man sitting on a dock watching fog lift off water. And for the first time since you were 9 years old, that is enough. The job was never your family. The company was never your home. And no title, no bonus, no corner office, not a single one of them, was worth dying on gray industrial carpet while your boss asked IT to check the Wi-Fi. The quarter will always close without you. Your life will not.